first bring in my colleague and our political editor, Maria Shakil, who's joining us from our newsroom. My colleague Akash also joining us on the broadcast. Maria, could you just put it in context of what really is happening and what is being mulled?
Yes, so there is lack of cooperation in organizing this rally or the recruitment rally or the recruitment, the entire exercise is what is being cited by the Indian Army. Just look at the letter that has been accessed by CNN News 18. It says clearly that we are constrained to bring to your kind attention that support from the local civil administration is vacillating with no clear-cut commitment. They are usually citing their inadequacies due to lack of directions from the state government at Chandigarh or lack of funds. So without the support of the state government, how can recruitment rallies or enrollment process of Agniveers happen in Indian Army is the question that is being highlighted here. And Ridhima, don't forget that Punjab, Himachal, these are some of the states where you have the maximum recruitment in the Indian forces. And for services, if there is no cooperation from the local administration, then how do you organize these rallies? Because, you know, logistical support has to be provided by them. Let's look at other aspects of this letter. It says clearly that it is again reiterated that the following assistance from the local civil administration is an inescapable requirement, that it is a must requirement for an incident-free and successful recruitment rally, incident-free particularly, because thousands come for very few numbers. So in terms of if there is a recruitment for, say, a 2,000 or 4,000, then you will see presence of, aspirants going into few lakhs. Police assistance for law and order, security and crowd control, essential barricading to enable controlled and smooth entry of candidates to the rally ground, medical support and provision of a medical officer with his team and ambulances during the conduct of this rally, to provide immediate medical assistance and evacuation to a hospital in case the casualty so demands.
Correct.
And it then goes on to say basic amenities of water, mobile portable toilets and food for the prospective candidates at the scale of 3,000 to 4,000 footfall per day for 14 days is what they were expecting. So far, the administration has been vacillating and no clear-cut commitment has been given. We are yet to get a formal statement from the Punjab government as to what they have to say. Why has no cooperation been the message that has come from the Punjab government? Why oppose a scheme which has got a lot of support from the youth of the country? That is the big question now. Because whatever protests happened against the Agniveer, it lasted for hardly 48 to 72 hours. And then we saw most aspirants go in immediately and enroll the moment the enrollment process began.
And even when those protests happened, a lot of questions were raised about the authenticity of the people who were protesting, whether they were genuine candidates or not. But Maria, I'll just request you to stay on with us. Let me bring in Akash in the conversation as well. Akash, simple questions being raised by the armed forces. If logistical support isn't given to us, how will these recruitment rallies even be conducted? One, what are the basic pointers that are being raised by the armed forces in terms of the lack of logistical support? And more importantly, have we seen a response from AAP so far?
Right. So, Ridhima, talking about this particular letter, we have accessed this letter, and one thing is very clear with this letter, that this is not the first time when the local recruitment officer is writing to a principal secretary or chief secretary, and he has mentioned the communication before. Also, talking about the main issue, not only it is raising questions on the arrangements by the Punjab government, but it is also showing that even after constant communication, the Indian Army is not getting proper support. Also, talking about the recruitment under any scheme by central government, it is very obvious that state government generally provides these kinds of arrangements. And, while it is about recruitment rally, so I remember when CNN News 18, went to Hisar to cover this particular rally, Hisar rally, we know that how queue formation was there and how candidates used to, get lined up outside the particular camp. So, this is very obvious that when you'll have a candidate in such a large number that you need some security arrangements and also also some other arrangements. So this time, Indian Army is saying that they are unable to, carry out these recruitment rallies. And in fact, as of now, the information that we have, total four rallies are planned in the particular state till December. And they are saying that they are planning to transfer these rallies to some other states, or, just keep a pause on that, just halt those rallies. So as of now, this is somewhere raising questions on Punjab government as to they are unable to provide the kind of assistance that Indian Army is looking for. And also this is the reason why senior officers from Indian Army are now discussing to change the venue of these rallies. Also,
Okay,
given
Akash,
the fact
I just
that we have,
apologize for
the registration
interrupting. We in fact have retired Maj Gen KK Sinha now joining us on the broadcast. So good to have you on the broadcast with us. A lack of logistical support and assistance is now being cited by many within the Indian Army as far as these recruitment rallies are concerned. If it has to be shifted, does it become a big nightmare?
Yeah, of course. It is a big setback. I belong from Sikh regiment. My regiment is Sikh, and the troops come from Punjab. Punjab has been basically the major donor of those martial people who have been fighting and contributing towards the security of this country. So if resistance like this coming from the state administration, because this is their charter of duty and it comes under the responsibility of them to provide the logistic support. So in no way can we imagine that in state of Punjab can refuse to provide the basic requirement of recruitment. It is their charter. It is the part of the state charter to provide whenever the recruitment. And wherever it happens, the recruitment, you will find that the people turnout is very, very high.
That's exactly the question that I wanted to get to, sir. Traditionally, we've seen one of the highest recruitment actually comes from states like Punjab. So if it does have to be shifted to nearby states, one, I don't know how easy that will be logistically, but what a big setback that will be for candidates at large.
It will be a great setback, Agniveer has got no reservation, or the percentage-wise state percentage is not
Correct.
there as far as Agniveer is concerned. It is all India basis. Any state can give any percentage which can be more or less. But if this thing happens, if the people will not even given the support, the boys are not going to travel all the way to the other state and get recruited. They will have the major setback. It will be a major setback into the composition of the fighting, capability of Indian Armed Forces. So it is not a small thing. It is not a logistic thing that you shift it. It will change the structure, but one has to understand. And the structure
Correct.
changes, because this is a capacity and capability building
Absolutely.
of the Indian Armed Forces.
Absolutely.
It is nothing to do with, someone having, you oppose the government, you oppose, but this is not the way you do it.
And it's actually
it is a
happening
matter of
very
national
ironically
security.
because Arvind Kejriwal has actually backed the scheme. So now it's looking like it's all talk but no action. But General Sin, I'll just request you to stay on with us. I quickly want to take in a reaction from the BJP as well. Harjeet Singh Grewal of the BJP also now joining us on the broadcast. So good to have you on the broadcast with us. We now understanding Army Zonal Recruitment Officer, not for the first time, is now listing out the difficulties